Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm WillStalker25 and today I got a brand new action figure review for you guys on it's still kind of relatively new. This is the Jazwares Pokemon Select Rayquaza, or Rayquaza, however you want to pronounce it, figure. This is going to be recorded and put up after the battle, like the evolution multi-packs. So this is the proper Select line, I guess, if you want to say. Um, but this is a really nice figure. It is about $20. I think he could have been a little bit bigger, and there could have been maybe a little bit better and more articulation in it. But it's what we got, and it's probably all we're ever going to get. So, for the price of $20, I think this is a great figure, especially if you're a Pokemon fan. This is a pretty dang good Rayquaza. It scales well to an extent with things. I think Rayquaza should be pretty huge. But you basically always need the stand. One thing to note is there's a little hole at the bottom of the figure. As you can see, the plastic around mine looks a little warped. From being on the stand in certain angles and articulation points sprawled out, Rayquaza really did not like it, and it it really warped that point. Now you can kind of angle the fin here um, to an extent and get him to stay upright and kind of pose without the stand, as you could see. But you gotta mess with it. There's a lot of different rotation points that you gotta deal with and stuff, and you could get them there, but then you gotta get the tail fin down properly. There you go. That's kind of the best you're probably gonna get. But it does slowly bend the plastic here because it's very thin for the tail. So you just gotta watch out for all that stuff. Just a little thing to think about. Rayquaza, when it's on the stand in this very generic basic pose here. Now the stand is kind of, it's the same stand we've always seen. It's a little bit of a lame stand. It's not the best. I wish it was a little bit better. As you can see, Rayquaza is definitely showing that it's the spot on the bottom is definitely warped right there. As you can see, it's trying to swivel all around on the ball peg. It's not staying very tight in there. The rubber is definitely changed over time and from just being on the stand. So that's one thing you do gotta note. One thing you gotta think about with this figure. Really quick, I want to do a size check on it from the bottom of its tail when it's in this curled up position. So I'll just do the bottom of the ground. So the stand's gonna add probably about 10 inches tall. It's 10.5 inches tall in this pose right here. So probably remove about a quarter of an inch, and it's probably 10.25 inch tall for Rayquaza. Now, if we take Rayquaza off the stand and do a little bit of movement here, Rayquaza has really weird articulation. So it has a point right here. There's this little spot right here where this could do a full 360. There is not any ball joint hinges in here, but each of these hinge points each of these little segments have a hinge, like a swivel. End of the tail has a swivel, but there's not a single ball joint in here within the body. I think that's a little lame. You can't get Rayquaza in 100% straight pose. The head has we'll do the articulation really quick on the head. So the head could look all the way up like this, and it could look all the way down. So you could get nice, cool downward poses like this one. If this was, let me turn him. A straight pose like that is pretty cool. That'd probably be your flight pose, since Rayquaza kind of does a little wave pattern when it flies. So that's pretty good. That's not bad. I just wish that these were all, instead of these weird swivel points, I wish it was a ball joint. So it had a spot where you could bring it back or something. I don't know. I mean, you could have made the entire thing rubber and put bendy wires in it, but I feel like that would have been expensive and unrealistic. But yeah, so that's the head articulation. I wish the mouth opened and closed. There's no movement on these. There's a very soft rubber, but you got some nice paint detail on the face. I mean, the eyes are just a little yellow circle. And you just got the white for the teeth and the pink in the mouth. There's different shades of pink though. You got like a darker reddish pink on the outside, and then the brighter one on the tongue. So yeah, it's got some good art. It's got all right articulation. The shoulders are on a hinge. They do go up. You can do a full 360 with the arms. There is a like a bicep cut right there. You do have a single jointed elbow that gets you back and forward that much. It goes basically all the way back. I think it's got a swivel there. Yeah, it's got a lower swivel, so the forearm could swivel, but the ball does not have a swivel at the actual elbow there. And then the wrists do go back. Uh, let's see, the arms also go out that much, and they straighten out. But the wrists go out that much, and then they do go down that much, and then they do have, I think the wrists have a swivel. Let me check. Yeah, wrists have a swivel at the actual hand itself. So there you go. That's all your articulation, really. I mean, like, you get the one ball joint in the shoulder. I wish there was more ball joints in this guy. Now I can't find the actual joint to bring it back down. So there we go. Yeah, so I wish there was more ball joints in them. They are very loose. Like, look, I'm barely touching that, and it just, just all over the place. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Rayquaza, though, let me see if I could get the stand up in there to hold him. We'll try and turn it. Get him in this little pose here, back here, and then we'll bring the tail. No, I think the tail outward. I think this is the longest. This is at his longest point that he could possibly be. I think right here. So let me bring that down. This is a little bit of a scuffed review. I do apologize, but this guy's at such a weird angle, and he's so ridiculously long. Lengthwise, Rayquaza, from the front of his head, tip of his head, to the bottom of his tail, is about 14.5 inches long. So yeah, I mean, there you go. That's really gonna do it for the articulation. Just know at each of these little black parts, each of the little black zones, there is a rotation angle. So you could get Rayquaza in some like crazy poses. Like there's, I gotta get the camera up higher. I'll hold them up here. So like there's this pose, you could get him in. There's like this one, like I had him in kind of at the start, which kind of like resembles his beginning thing. You could do the one like this. I think there's one that they have where he's in the box. This almost kind of resembles when you find him in the games a little bit. You could do like kind of like a ball one like this. Like you got a lot of options. Now the more you do rotate him all around, the weaker it feels like each of these rotation points get. So you do just want to be aware of that, aware in the position you have him in, because the figure is a lot heavier than he seems, especially when on a stand. So you almost need to get him in a pose to where you could like take advantage of his tail just a little bit to help balance him. You gotta definitely work with this stand a bit, because you want to be careful with him. You don't want him to shelf dive. You don't want to ruin the little circle. But I mean, there you go. That's a look at him with like, you know, with all his articulation and whatnot. We're gonna take a look really quick at Rayquaza on a stand next to the other figures from the line so far. Here is really quick. Actually, we'll look at some other things. So here's the epic battle Venusaur, really fast. We've seen Venusaur in the past. So let me move the camera back a little bit. So we got Venusaur there. We got that Battle Pack Wartortle and Squirtle. You got Flareon. You got Eevee. You got the Krogunk that I bring out every once in a while. You got the Battle one, whatever, the battle figure guy of Ghastly. And, you know, Rayquaza looks big. I mean, it's not like it looks tiny. Here's the Figma Score Bunny. And then we'll bring really quick in Figma Gloria in case you want to do any poses of like a Dynamax battle or something like that. There's Gloria. I think she works pretty well with Rayquaza. That's a good height scale. Really quick, next to an average 6-inch scale figure, here's your let me pull her out of the way really quick. Here's your symbiote Spider-Man. So, like, there's your height-wise with Spider-Man. Granted, he's on a stand, elevated a little bit, but I mean, he's tall, he's long. That's what you're gonna get with this guy. So there's all that. Really quick though, I do want to pull out. Oh, there goes Eevee. I do want to pull out all the other figures from this wave. This is a Wave 1 Rayquaza. I have been seeing things about Rayquaza being in Wave 2 along with Charizard. I did see a Charizard at my local Walmart about like, oh, I don't know, probably like a month ago now. I still see Greninja or Articuno, one of the two of them, at Target all the time. So there's Greninja, there's Charizard, and then I guess, actually, let me put Articuno in the back here. There's Articuno. So there's your size comparisons with everybody. Obviously, Charizard's like the only one here that could stand on his own. So there's your all of Wave 1. I think this is a really solid and weird like wave of figures. I mean, Charizard is arguably one of the most popular Pokemon ever. Love him or hate him, I love him. I love the love he gets in the games. I love the love he gets everywhere else. I think it's justified because how popular he is, and just because of what he brought to the series as a whole. Greninja, voted the most popular Pokemon of like 2020, 2019, 2018, something like that. Funnily enough, hasn't been in a video game since Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, which is like, what, 20, like 17, 16, 18, I don't know. So it's been a long time. And then Articuno, Rayquaza, arguably one of the most iconic legendary Pokemon after Mewtwo, one of the most recognizable. And then Articuno, the start of the legendary birds, which obviously they're following up with Zapdos, and I would assume Wave 3 will have Moltres, if I had to guess. They're probably going to get all the birds out. But I mean, and then Lucario's coming next. Like I said, these two are supposed to be in Wave 2, rumor. If I had to rank these guys, obviously my favorite of the wave here is Charizard, then followed by Articuno, then Rayquaza, I think, even though it's very limited in articulation. Lastly would be Greninja. I like what Greninja brought to the table, but its legs are just too thin that it cannot stand without its stand. So, but then again, you could say the same for Articuno and Zapdos, or not Zapdos, Rayquaza here. They kind of need their stands to function. And, that sucks. It is what it is, though. I mean, when you got a big old goofy bird and a big flying snake and a weird twiggy-legged frog, of course the big flying lizard is the one that's gonna... The big thick flying lizard is gonna be the one that can actually stand. But, it is what it is. That's all we could ask for, though. I mean, we're getting 6-inch scale Pokemon figures that have high articulation. So you gotta take what you could get. But I think all these are really cool. I really am surprised Jazwares didn't capitalize on the fact that Pokemon have shinies and do like chase variants of these figures. It'd be a nightmare to get them, but I think that could have been a cool opportunity. Or any of you customizers and painters out there, take a crack at making some shinies. But there you go. That's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you did find this review helpful. Let me know in the comments below, out of all 4 of these figures that were here on the desk, which one of them is your favorite out of the wave? Which one of them is your favorite in-game? If I had to rank them, my favorite's Charizard, out of the wave and in-game. So, let me know in the comments below, which one do you prefer? But I think Rayquaza is a great figure. If you just want it as like a background piece or like cool photos with like some of the other ones, like there's the Figma Raihan, and there's Figma Gloria and all these other guys. Like, I think he's a good one to have. Like, you could do some cool shots with him. He's just a cool figure to have in the collection, and I don't think they're going to redo another one anytime soon or at all. So if you want Rayquaza, pick him up, $20, not a bad deal. Maybe pick up 2 and paint 1 black and get a shiny for him. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I like him. Hopefully you found the review helpful. And if you did like it at all, I would always appreciate a like, as well as a subscribe if you're new and haven't done so already. It does help me out a ton, and I do greatly appreciate it. As well, if you want to go follow me on Twitter or the gameplay channel, links are in the description as always. But yeah, I love Pokemon. I'm gonna keep playing it forever. I'm never gonna stop playing it. I'm really looking forward to Scarlet and Violet coming out, and yeah, I might even stream it over on Twitch when those games come out. But alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you found the review helpful. I'm recording this on 4:30 in the morning now on May 16th, so doing a mass recording session. So I don't know when this video is going out, probably, you know, a week after I record it, maybe on a Wednesday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, I don't know. So I'll catch you guys later, everyone. Have a good weekend, day, whatever it is. But yeah, I'll see ya.